Good morning. It's a beautiful Friday morning. Welcome to my home office. This is my little world that I exist in now for most of every day. How's everybody doing? I'm doing so good. Thanks for asking. Why does it feel weird? Tea. Coffee. What is this? I don't think I use shampoo. It's been almost 9 months or more than 9 months. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. My hair does not feel good. The concept of geologic time and how incomprehensible it is really relevant right now. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. It's been 9 months since we last Geo Friday together, and it's February 2021, and I have nothing to show for that time. Everything's good here, people. Everything's great. What is geologic time, really? Feels like yesterday, except it's cold. It's a colder version of yesterday. Well, hello. I have watched a lot of Marvel movies. They're pretty great. I've read some books. So much food. Lots of recipes. Okay, let's get to it. Geologic time. Okay, yes, we know humans are a very intelligent species. However, when it comes to comprehending the vastness of space and time, we just don't have, we're just not wired to think that way. And rightfully so. We're only on the planet for a few decades, if we're lucky. And we just don't have a reference point for something on the order of thousands or millions or billions of years in time. Okay, so let's just try to visualize the geologic timescale. Now, the Earth's history is broken up into several main categories of time, followed by many little subcategories, all with unmemorable names, so we won't get into that. The important thing to note is that we have 4 major categories of geologic time, which we'll call eras. So, here at the bottom, we have the creation of our planet at 4.6 billion years ago, and the biggest chunk of Earth's history is in the Precambrian. Now, the Precambrian lasted for 4,059,000,000 years, or 7/8 of Earth's life, or in a percentage, 88% of all Earth history. Now, as you can imagine, a lot went down over those few billion years. At the beginning of Earth's history, the planet was constantly being bombarded by asteroids, which ended up creating our moon. And at this time, all of life on Earth were single-celled organisms that were just cruising around in primordial ooze and trying to avoid volcanic activity as the first tectonic plates began to move. At least that's how I envision it. Now, these organisms eventually figured out how to photosynthesize, and the atmosphere became oxygen-rich because of that. With the abundance of oxygen came multicellular organisms, and ocean brimming with worms, jellyfishes, algae, and bacteria. Now, the Cambrian explosion occurred at the end of the Precambrian and the beginning of the Paleozoic, and this was virtually when all animal phyla began to show up in the fossil record. This is the most widespread and rapid diversification of life in Earth's history. Now, experts aren't really sure why, but it could be due to the fact that the increase in oxygen on the planet was so great. So, anyway, life explodes, and over the next millions of years, the oceans are teeming with life. Think fishes and ammonites and trilobites, all of the fossils that are fun to find in the field. So the Paleozoic ends with the biggest extinction event in Earth history, wiping out nearly all living things and taking millions of years to recover. We're not sure exactly what caused the extinction, but theories include an impact event, volcanism, hydrogen sulfide emissions, among many other theories. It's up for debate. So the Mesozoic era is everyone's favorite because it's when the dinosaurs came on the scene. But it's important to know that early mammals also thrived alongside the dinosaurs at this time. The climate was warmer, oceans were higher, and during this time, all of the continents were joined together in one supercontinent called Pangaea. So, over the 165 million years that the dinosaurs roamed, the supercontinent began to break up and left animals to roam on every planet. Now, unfortunately, most of them met their end when a massive asteroid impacted the planet and completely altered the climate. And that brings us to the Cenozoic era, which means new life, era that we're in today. And the absence of the dinosaurs allowed the surviving birds and mammals to thrive. The climate fluctuated between glacial and interglacial periods, and the most recent glacial period began 2.6 million years ago and ended just 12,000 years ago. See my mammoth buddy here. Still hard to imagine? I know. So let's try to think about the history of the Earth in the context of one calendar year. Now, on the first of the year, at the beginning of time, is the creation of the planet. It isn't until November 18th that the Precambrian is over, and that long period of bacteria and oxygen building and algae finally ends. So the dinosaurs don't show up until December 13th, and they die off by December 26th, but that's still 165 million years. And the oldest human-like ancestor doesn't show up until December 31st at 5 p.m. And the first modern man, a Homo sapien, arrives at 11:48 p.m. on the day that encompasses all of Earth's history. I just think that's so cool. So the Revolutionary War occurs with 1 minute to midnight, and all of our lifetimes are mere milliseconds, too small to even be included on this scale.
I love geologic time. I think it is a great lens to perceive existence through, and at the end of the day, when you feel like things are just really falling apart, you can just think back to this Geo Friday and how ultimately your existence is totally insignificant in the grand scheme of geologic time. Thanks for spending your Friday morning with me. Have a great day. Goodbye.